President Joe Biden walked a muddy stretch of the U.S. Mexico border and inspected a busy port of entry on Sunday on his first trip to the region after 2 years in office. A visit shadowed by the fraught politics of immigration as Republicans blame him for record numbers of migrants crossing into the country.
At his first stop, the president observed as border officers in El Paso demonstrated how they searched vehicles for drugs, money, and other contraband. The president spoke with border agents and observed demonstrations which included dogs aiding agents while searching vehicles. Biden's nearly 4-hour visit to El Paso was highly controlled. He encountered no migrants except when his motorcade drove alongside the border, and about a dozen were visible on the Ciudad Juarez side. Now, his visit did not include time at a border patrol station where migrants who cross illegally are arrested and held before their release. And he also delivered no public remarks. And the president's last stop on the visit was the El Paso County Migrant Services Center. There were no migrants in sight. The visit seemed designed to showcase a smooth operation to process legal migrants, weed out smuggled contraband, and humanely treat those who have entered illegally, creating a counter-narrative to Republicans' claims of a crisis situation equivalent to an open border. But his visit was likely to do little to quell critics from both sides, including immigrant advocates who accuse Biden of establishing cruel policies, not unlike those of his hardline predecessor, Donald Trump. Meanwhile, the first international travelers arriving in China without the mandatory quarantine that had been imposed at the start of the pandemic 3 years ago.
The easing of a border restriction comes even as the virus continues to spread in China amid what critics say is a lack of transparency from Beijing. More foreign governments are imposing testing requirements on travelers from China, most recently Germany, Sweden, and Portugal. On Sunday, thousands of travelers from a semi-autonomous Hong Kong crossed into mainland China, some having been separated from their families since the pandemic. Like other passengers from abroad, they still have to show a negative test result taken within 48 hours, a measure China has protested against when imposed by other countries.
隔离过6次了，隔离6次就在不同的城市隔离过6次，还是挺不容易的，而且北京吧，就是也是一个比较重要的城市，所以过去也管得比较严，对吧？所以今天放开，就是觉得很好的信号。我们还是非常乐意看到北京重新开放给不仅仅是香港，还是全世界。
今天票很难抢，并且预约核酸什么的也非常难做。就是在外面，其实外面好多地方都已经没有做核酸的这种检测点了。